Assassin's Creed Shadows or Ghost of Tsushima. I have been recently playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima on my channel. If you want to go see some videos on that, go check my channel. I've also played a bit of Assassin's Creed Shadows, not on my channel because I play on PC and for some reason the game is not designed for Nvidia. But which one's better? Ghost of Tsushima or Shadows? I think that one of them is definitely better than the other. You could prefer an Assassin's Creed game in feudal Japan, where you run around as a black samurai or as a female shinobi, just taking on bad guys, going around for hours, just searching and viewing the world, doing a bunch of random side stuff. Or you have Ghost of Tsushima, where it's very, how do I put it? It's like, it seems like seamless. I've played around 23 hours so far in Ghost of Tsushima. Surprisingly, I didn't even realize I played that much. And I've played around 17 hours on my Xbox of Assassin's Creed Shadows. And I would say that one of them is definitely better than the other. But hey, let's start with some simple things. Let's start with graphics, with the cutscenes and just the game itself. I would say Ghost of Tsushima has better overall graphics in the cutscenes. I feel like the characters feel more alive and they have more emotion on their faces when they are talking, where in Assassin's Creed Shadows, well, it kind of sounds like this.
Why must samurai always battle one another? Because there is only one way for a samurai to get ahead. Ahead.
Resentment can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushrooms can too. Shiitake?
Outsiders! Send your finest warrior to face me! I am Harunobu Adachi, descendant of the legendary Yoshinobu Adachi. Samurai! Do you surrender?
Cowards without honor deserve no mercy.
No mercy!
Yeah, I think Ghost of Tsushima is better when it comes to dialogue and the graphics. Let's talk about open world. I would say, obviously, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a much larger game than Ghost of Tsushima. But is size always better when it comes to a video game? Not always. Yes, you can have a huge game and it be massive, like a huge game. Or you can have a game that has a smaller map, not as much to do, but still be a great game. Where with Assassin's Creed Shadows, you mark a spot on the map that you want to go to, and you just you ride your horse there, and it takes you about 15 minutes to get there. It's, don't get me wrong, it's very boring. I think it's very boring having to travel such a long distance to get to the objective. Now that's just my opinion. I'm a very story-driven type of person. I prefer those types of games. It's very story-driven, not RPG game. I'm not really into those as much. That's why I love Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Please tell me down in the comments. Am I pronouncing it right? I have no idea. In Ghost of Tsushima, they balance the RPG and the single player, just story-driven game perfectly, I think. Because you still have leveling up, you still have harder enemies, you still have areas you can't go to yet because you haven't progressed far enough in the story, and I understand that and I like it because it takes it in such a different way. If that makes sense. When I play Assassin's Creed Shadows, now this is my opinion, I feel like a black dude running around killing people. It doesn't really feel Japanese. It doesn't feel like a samurai. I don't get that that satisfying, like, just that you look at it and you're just like, this is a samurai game. Where with Ghost of Tsushima, 100%, everything about the game is samurai. I love the dialogue. I love how a lot of the people speak in Japanese, where in Assassin's Creed Shadows, there's an option to make it Japanese and to change it. I can't do it because I have really bad dyslexia, and so it's really difficult for me to read the words because it's just all mixed up in my brain. I would say with Assassin's Creed Shadows, the world is bigger, and that's it. It doesn't feel more alive. There are big cities and stuff like that, and I like that. I like the big cities, but I just prefer Ghost of Tsushima because, like, it does it better. It's a smaller world, but it feels like there's so much more in that world, even though it's small. There's a lot of stuff to do. Like, I've spent 23 hours on just the small little tiny section. That's just crazy. There's two others and then Ika Island. That's a lot. And then in Assassin's Creed Shadows, I was running around aimlessly for hours, and it was not exciting. It was kind of boring. The biggest thing for me in the Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ghost of Tsushima versus which one's better would be combat. I'm all about realism. Now, I know that Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ghost of Tsushima are not always about realism. Being able to jump from 500 feet in the air and land on some dude and kill him and your legs not shatter from the impact. That's not realistic. But also, jumping from a tower into a bale of hay is not realistic either. You'd break your spine.
My back. Oh, my back.
Hay is not that powerful. Not that dense. And so, they both have their unrealistic moments. I would say that Ghost of Tsushima, when it comes to combat, is the most realistic combat system I have ever played in a video game. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, the enemies are tanks. Everyone, it feels like, can take so many hits, especially the big dudes, who, the Guardians, those guys. I only fought them a couple times when I was playing, but they were such an annoying group of enemies to fight because it doesn't feel like any damage you're doing toward them matters. They got so much health. And so I don't like how everyone in an AC Assassin's Creed Shadows game are just sponges. Everyone's a sponge. And then you got Ghost of Tsushima, where it's super realistic with how many times you can hit with a katana. And same with your character. And that's another thing where I come to. Characters. Is Assassin's Creed Shadows, Naue, and Yasuke better than Jin Sakai? No. They're not. And my biggest thing is voice acting. Jin Sakai, the actor, he puts so much emotion into his lines. Where I am listening to this game, I'm playing this game, and I'm like, I'm there. I'm actually there watching this in real. It feels like real life people talking. And then I listen to Assassin's Creed Shadows dialogue. It is the most boring dialogue ever. Even the times when they're supposed to be emotional, and it's supposed to be, oh, this big thing is happening, and it ruins it because the dialogue stinks. Like, they don't have any emotion. The only time that I felt emotional during the game was in the beginning when Naue's father died. That was when I felt emotional. Is that raw emotion that actress put out into Naue. But that was like the only time that they expressed that type of emotion. Like, I don't get it. Movement in Assassin's Creed Shadows is awful compared to Ghost of Tsushima. And what's one big thing? A manual jump button. You are able to manually jump in Ghost of Tsushima. It is amazing. The movement feels so much more fluid. The parkour, though it is limited in Ghost of Tsushima, is, I just think, better, in my opinion. It feels more open to whatever you want, if that makes sense. And this is my opinion. So you guys can think differently, and that's okay. You guys can love Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's okay. I don't like it as much, but you guys 100% can enjoy Assassin's Creed Shadows. But it is just not my cup of tea. But parkour when it comes to Ghost of Tsushima. There's not a lot in Ghost of Tsushima when it comes to parkour. So I would say movement goes to Ghost of Tsushima. And just parkour, goes to Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think the parkour is better, kind of, because there's more options to do it in that game. So, my overall thoughts on the games. If you want to play an amazing samurai game, play Ghost of Tsushima. You will not be disappointed. If you like RPG games, get Assassin's Creed Shadows if you want to. It's not a horrible game, but it's close. In my eyes, Ghost of Tsushima wins when it comes to which game is better, and that is just my opinion. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell to never miss an upload. If you like Ghost of Tsushima and if you like AC Shadows, leave a comment down below. Well, that's all I got to say. I'll stop talking now. Alright.